I'm Chase Thompson, back again to show you the surround functions of the Yamaha DM2000. Now there are two ways to approach surround in this room, in Pro Tools or on the board. For both methods, set the board to 5.1 mode by pressing the pan surround display button until you reach the surround mode tab. Then use the arrow keys and enter key to select 5.1 mode. Now that the board's in surround mode, let's go over how to do your panning in Pro Tools. This method allows you to save your pannings with your Pro Tools session. First, create a 5.1 output in the Pro Tools I/O. In the Output tab, set the default path order to DTS/Pro Control. Create a new 5.1 path and deactivate any outputs that overlap. Next, let's go over how to use the board as a human user interface or HUI controller. Under Setup Peripherals in Pro Tools, go to the MIDI Controllers tab and set 1, 2, and 3 to HUI. The receive from and sent to should be set to Yamaha port 5 through 7 respectively, and number 4 should be set to surround panner with the receive from and sent to set to Yamaha port 8. Next, set your outputs to the 5.1 path you just created. Pull up the first 6 faders in the back from Pro Tools layer and assign each channel to the corresponding bus. Make sure that follow pan is deselected on all channels. In the remote layer, you can use the surround panner to pan your Pro Tools tracks. To tell the board which track you're trying to control with the surround panner, select the small fader icon next to your track's output in Pro Tools. A green box appears around your track's output. This shows you which track the surround panner is controlling. Make sure that the grab button next to the surround panner is selected and start panning. Remember, merely selecting a track in Pro Tools does not mean that the surround panner is going to control it. You have to select the small fader icon next to the track's output. To pan on the board, output all your tracks to individual channels. Every channel must be assigned to all the bus outs in order to pan between the speakers. A quick way to do this is to hit the routing display button until you reach the channel 25 through 48 tab. From here, use the arrow keys and enter key to select all bus. You also want to make sure that all your channels are set to follow pan. To pan a channel, all you do is select it, press the grab button in the pan surround section, and pan. From here, you can either save your Studio Manager file and recall it later, or record your final mix back into Pro Tools. In Studio Manager, you can save your settings by going to File, Save Session As. Now to record your tracks back into Pro Tools, you need to make a 5.1 input in your Pro Tools I/O. Also make a 5.1 bus to temporarily assign the outputs of your track to. Hit record, and now you got your tracks back into Pro Tools. With your panning preserved. To listen back to your mix, if you have 6 available channels on the board, go to your Pro Tools I/O and set up a new 5.1 output on those 6 channels. If you have no extra outputs, then what? What do you do? Then create a new 5.1 path and deselect some of the outputs that overlap. Alright everybody, I've been Chase Thompson, you've been you. Hope you've learned something about surround sound here in Studio J at the fabulous UCD Recording Corps. See you next time!